Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah Svensson and Michelle Svensson. If you're joining us for the very first time ever, we're the dynamic duo of sisters. What was that thing you saw today at a pet visit? Sometimes sisters. Angels come disguised as sisters. I thought, hang on, wait a minute. Like, angels are angels and humans are humans. And it's like, unless your sister died. Yeah. It's kind of strange. Yeah. All right, so I have to tell you guys.
Nice sentiment.
This entire thing, this hate hoax, we covered this extensively on Tuesday or something like that. It's really great news for us. And I want to write an article on it on resistancechicks.com. I probably will. But let me lead with just what I wrote in for the description of this video. All right? The MSM were so quick to back Jussie Smollett when he came out and gave a tearful performance of the hate crimes. There were two, committed against him. First, the letter that was written that didn't get any attention, that was written like a child. Jussie, like, you may be an actor, but you don't draw well. Number two, the actual mugging of two black dudes on a black dude. Okay, so they ate it like a spoiled kid in a candy shop. But when the true story unfolded and they were shown to have jumped on the bandwagon all too soon, they dropped the story like a hot potato. But no worries. In the words of Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, President Trump, and the rest of us are going to eat Jussie Smollett's lunch all day long. And what's more, Don, we're going to eat yours too. It would seem the traps that the left keep laying for those they hate, they keep falling into themselves. Isn't it just grand? Meanwhile, we see where the real hate crimes are coming from, the left. A conservative student was attacked and punched in the face on the UC Berkeley campus on Tuesday while recruiting members for Turning Point USA. So here we have, the media jumps on this. All right, everything lines up. We got two white dudes in a mega hat jumping a black dude because he's a political activist, which comes out later that he is a political activist. And yet the traps that they laid for themselves, they fall into. And then what's more, it triggers people on the left who actually do have violent tendencies and thoughts towards people on the right. And bam, you got a real hate crime.
That's true.
So that's all I have to say about that. That's my opening monologue.
So we're going to get to that later. I thought you guys want to see this clip here of Uncle Trump here talking about Nehemiah. God.
Nehemiah
was told by God
Tobiah and Smollett and all the people coming against him.
Nehemiah
Don't you build that wall?
To build a wall.
On the second day of the sit-in, Clarence was one of the 4 students who sat at the long segregated Woolworth's lunch counter. Very, very famous event in Greensboro, North Carolina. He helped spark a national movement in cities and towns all across America. Students joined in the protest, and
of course we are, because that's what it just didn't transmit to it. I've never seen anything like that before. Okay, so exit that out. Let's do this. And let's try this again. That's really strange. All right. Now.
Uncle Trump, baby. Get on my television.
Click. Wait a minute. That's not even what you're supposed to literally be seeing. Hang on. Let's see. Let me see what happens here.
Oh, my word, Jack.
Go and click duplicate.
There we want to duplicate.
No.
I messed it up.
That's all right. Nope.
I can't find my mouse.
I know. Your mouse needs replacing. It's been dropped a couple of times. A couple dozen times. It's not your fault. We're going to blame it on the mouse.
It's so sensitive.
If anybody does want to donate to Resistance Chicks, you may send about a dozen mice in the mail for Leah, because she takes her computer everywhere, and then inevitably the mouse.
Did it work? Is it working? It's working.
All right.
It was an incredible moment in the history of our country. The grave injustice of segregation was really spelled out loud and clear. After more than 170 days of protest, the Woolworth lunch counter finally integrated. That was, doesn't sound like such a big deal, Bob, but it was a big, big deal, right? As Clarence has said, it doesn't take many people to make a change. It just takes courage.
Amen.
And Clarence, you have incredible courage, and I want to thank you very much for being here.
I am delighted to be here with the president. You know, Nehemiah was told by God to build a wall.
Oh, you know what I did? I pressed a button. It's very sensitive. Come back.
It is indeed a pleasure to
back.
be here with you this evening and to share this great
No, they might be able to still hear
great
it.
time.
Oh, here it goes.
I'll continue
I
right
fixed it.
now with the Frederick Douglass Foundation.
Don't touch it.
So I love
Don't
this.
touch it.
I love that little video. Here, Nehemiah was
I'm
told
sharing
by
this on
God to
Facebook and
build
Twitter.
a wall.
You should too.
Okay, so we want to jump right into Smollett or some of the other news.
Go ahead and do
happened
Smollett.
tonight?
Oh!
What?
I'm really messing everything up here.
All right, so this guy David mashed up. Now, if you didn't see, the superintendent was fit to be tied yesterday. They indicted, the grand jury indicted him. The facts are all laid out. I'm gonna play for you once we get all the facts laid out. I'm gonna play to you. Play for you. Charles Berkeley and Shaquille O'Neal. I guess they have a TV show on TNT Sports. Couldn't guess that one. But they really just cracked up laughing and making fun of it.
But they're allowed to do that because they're black.
They have, so could we right now. It's a free-for-all. So it's kind of a little bit moratorium on cracking down on anybody making fun of something like this. So we're get it while you can. Anyways, somebody put together his performance on ABC with the Chicago PD's news conference.
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth.
I'm left hanging my head and asking why.
You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
I noticed the rope around my neck and I started screaming.
How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
They called me. There's no which way you cut it.
Bogus police reports cause real harm.
The fact that we have these fear mongers.
The accusations within this phony attack received national attention for weeks.
If I had said it was a Muslim or Mexican or someone black.
I'll pause it right there.
Like
because when that was playing the other day, and I heard him say, if I had said, and I was like, I looked at Leah and she was like, meaning if I had claimed, if I had concocted my story that way, you guys need to understand this interview was done before it was exposed that the dude is a liar. Carry on. Unbelievable.
Doubters would have supported me a lot much more.
So I'm
much more.
By what's
you just
happened,
lied.
And I'm also angry.
Just remember that mine was reported right away. And look what has happened.
This publicity stunt was a scar that Chicago didn't earn and certainly didn't deserve.
So they get to go free and go about their life and possibly attack someone else?
Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial, homophobic, and political language.
Do you think there's a link between the letter and the attack?
Yeah.
And you did mention it to the police right away about the letter.
When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process.
I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed.
Ever.
This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
I don't know.
But to put the national spotlight on Chicago for something that is both egregious and untrue is simply shameful.
I still want to believe with everything that has happened.
So
that
does
there's
all the
something
left.
called justice.
They want to believe after everything that's happened that it really happened to you. And since it didn't, they're not going to talk about it anymore. They're just going to sweep it under the rug. But don't worry, because Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, InfoWars, President Trump, you and I are all eating your lunch. Jussie, every day of the week we're going to eat it, son.
There's a few more details that we've come across since we last talked to you.
See, Mark says Jussie got his tuppence. How does justice feel, Jussie?
It turns out that he wrote a check.
Yeah, he did write a check
to them. Police officials say they have the $3,500 check Jussie Smollett used to pay the two brothers. So with that, we're going to play this video that y'all need to see.
Okay. I'm so excited about this. I can't even tell you.
You haven't watched it yet, have you?
No. Leah just told me about it. Did you get some wine to go with that cheese, Redneck says?
You wasted all that damn time and money. You know what you should have did? Just went up in Liam Neeson's neighborhood. Could have solved all your damn problems. Charles, you got?
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express.
Ridiculous one over there that's still living that you would say has no chance of happening. Two black guys beating a black guy up. And having a black guy. Sorry, speak it out loud. That's not on here, man. The Clippers will not make the playoffs.
And laughing about it.
What kind of hat say that on, Chuck? Maggie's hat. All right, I think that's probably it. Okay. The Lakers will not make the playoffs. The Kings will is the latest edition. Go ahead, Kenny. I can't believe you, Chuck. You pay him with cash? Chuckster. You pay him with cash or you write him a check, Chuck? Never break. Hey, man, America. Chuckster. How? America. Let me just tell you something. What's that? Do not commit crimes with checks. Come on, man. You cannot. If you're going to break the law, do not write a check. Because you're writing a check that what? Behind cash. Yo, man, you cannot cash up. Hey, get cash, man. I never used an ATM. Now, I heard you can only get $200 out of those. 500. Stop, literally. You're about to bring a lot of stuff to the ATM. I had one more question to ask you. Do you buy the face mask, the rope, and the thing in the same store? You think they put that on a receipt? Face mask, rope, bleach? The same store? Oh, the same store. You wouldn't even go to 3 different stores. Come on, Chuck.
It's so great. Oh my gosh. Donna Terry says yes. He should have said it would have been not if I had said that guy is about stupid. You are so right. Oh
there
my gosh.
There was a second follow-up.
I can't. That was just too much fun.
So don't write this check.
Muggers. 3,500. Mugging supplies. Jeez. Oh, you know what though? Hang on though.
Another 20.
I think an NBA rule: if you come out with you can't put a false report of saying someone is hurt and they're not.
Now there goes
no, see, bogus. I just put up a false report. Well, you know what? Truer words have never been said. Looks to me like a good time to take a break.
You know what though? Hang on, I have a little beef with that clip. You know what I'm saying? Because I get that they were. Hang on.
Twitchy has just informed this person that there is a price drop on Jussie Smollett autographs.
Oh, really? Because I would think they might go up, right? No, but seriously, I get that they were famous sports people, like so much so that we don't follow sports really, and everybody knows who they are. So I get that, okay? But did you see their desk? Like, we just gave ourselves a new studio, and it's like, our desk is like super tiny. They literally each had 4 feet for their desk.
They're big guys.
Yeah, maybe because we're just smaller. We don't have to have
so here is a video I didn't show you guys of them actually purchasing.
No, look. We got a red hat here. We got mask. I mean, look, that is a mask. That's a ski mask right there. Like they said, at least go to 3 different stores, man. Like, seriously. And don't pay with a credit card. Look at this. They're buying face masks. Unbelievable. Did they buy the rope here too? Are those gloves? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. No, you didn't. Well, shoot. Wow.
They bought red hats. They couldn't find MAGA hats, so they just buy red hats.
You just got to buy a red hat. You know what? Oh, my gosh. Let's see. He could have come up with a more believable crime. We are in 2019, Maia says. Redneck says, I'm sure Walmart has has a special on mugging supplies. Probably a whole aisle, Sandhar says. So what says, they also look very intelligent. Oh my gosh, it's just too funny. So speaking of black people, update.
So by the way, in October 2018, Jussie Smollett said, "So we just doing auditions in prison now?" #Empire, and everybody's like, "Oh, yep, yep."
No. All right, wait. I want to get to my black people update.
Okay.
This is breaking news. Now I hope I can find this article that Patriot Gallery shared on Resistance Chicks Facebook page, because this is groundbreaking.
If you're having a bad day, just remember you're not the victim
of your own hate crime. Now, what was the joke? While I'm finding this about, he'll have to share his cell with
the person who attacked him. You know what it wants to be like to have to share your cell with the person that attacked you.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. Okay, so let me see if I can find this. Patriot Gallery shares some stuff. Leah does most of our Facebook stuff, but every once in a while, Patriot Gallery gets on there. But this is breaking news. Now, I want y'all to know, we're Swedish, right? We're proud to be Swedish. We're also German and Irish and probably a couple of other mutt things in there, but we're mostly known for being Swedish, right? We look like we are, Scandinavian, pillaging, whatever, what have you. We're Vikings, But I have been telling people, and ain't I been saying it? Ain't I been saying it, Ernie? For how long have I been saying it, Leah? That I am white on the outside. And what am I on the inside?
Black.
I'm black on the inside. So I'm going to show y'all something. This is breaking news. All right? Now look at this. The first Swedes were black with blue eyes.
Wow.
Peter Sweden, and we all love Peter Sweden. I'm going to let y'all go to the Resistance Chicks Facebook page. Watch it for yourself. Okay? But I was trying to tell you, I got more black in me probably than Elizabeth Warren has Native American.
I'm wondering how.
Okay, didn't get the blue eyes because my mama prayed for brown.
I'm pretty sure that the dark skin was because of the sun.
Probably.
And so
okay.
I'm guessing because Swedes don't get a lot of sun. That's why they have pale skin.
I am just saying it could be. I'm not saying this is an official report.
That's fake news.
Whether it's fake news or not, I like it. I like it, and so I'm going with it.
Either way, it's
rolling
fine.
with it.
I don't really care, but I just.
Did y'all see how that transition just happened? Change that today. Watch again. Kapowie. Okay, now watch again.
What is that?
It's a transition.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
It's fancy stuff going on here at Resistance Chicks.
You're awesome.
No, you're awesome.
No, you're awesome.
All right, so I still haven't shared. I still haven't even pulled up the Facebook.
We all make mistakes,
chat.
Jussie. Don't beat yourself up over it.
That was my favorite. That was my absolute favorite in this whole thing. Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it, man. Now, technically, he didn't beat himself up.
He's paying somebody else.
He paid somebody else to beat him
I think
up.
that's still the same as beating yourself up.
Is it though?
Yeah, if you pay somebody to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I went and got a massage. Somebody else gave me a massage. I don't know.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Britt Boston says, have I missed anything? Yes, Barry, you have missed the entire show. The best part of the show, you are instructed to rewind to watch the beginning later.
So we're going to get to a little bit more on that as I fall out of the show.
Don't fall.
But Nick Sandman, you guys know the Covington Catholic kid.
Yeah.
The other fake hoax, hate hoax. He is suing the Washington Post first because they were one of the first ones to put out the article and slander all the Covington Catholic kids that other people shared from that for $250 million.
Now that total is significant.
Because, go ahead, tell them.
No, you go ahead, tell them.
That's how much Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post for.
And it was an homage. Like, at first, when I heard people saying that was significant, I thought, okay, that's just kind of more or less coincidental. No. His lawyers literally chose that figure on purpose because of that.
So this is his lawyer, Lynn Wood, says Nick Salmon's lawsuit against the Washington Post is not political, but the bias of the Post against Real Donald provable fact that is relevant to the litigation.
Yes, it is.
We appreciate the president's support, as should everyone who values our children and their reputations and their safety.
Let's see. Hang on, I missed some of the Facebook Live comments because I didn't have it up. Kathy says, I smelled a lib fish when this story first came out. It was so over the top, and his interview was an acted joke. What a complete loser he is. That is in reference to Jussie Smollett. Elaine says, now that's really dumb. Write a check. Hannah says, do you believe that Jussie Smollett was paid by a bigger entity to pave the way for a bigger race riot across America?
He could have been. He is now claiming that he was on drugs and drug fueled. He had gotten some ecstasy from one of the guys. So
Elaine says, I haven't seen your show before, so I'm going to wait until I share. Thank you, ladies. Well, Elaine, welcome to Resistance Chicks. We hope you enjoyed enough to share.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us. So here we have Empire creator Lee Daniels deletes video blaming racist F word on day of Smollett attack. Lee Daniels is the co-creator of the Fox show that he's on, Empire. He just kind of silently deleted an Instagram video last week about the attack against Jussie Smollett. You know, what's interesting is that while he has been written out of the last 2 episodes, he went straight from being indicted to going to film.
No.
They still didn't say don't show up today.
No way. So they have to, they're still worrying more about their bottom line of the storyline.
It's really odd. I've read some articles. This is hearsay. Some of the cast was pretty upset that he showed up. He cried, and he still tried to say, "This wasn't me. You all know this was. I didn't do this."
So basically, all the facts are going to point to him. So here's what we're going to have. We're going to have a Stephen Avery type case where he's going to get convicted, and he's going to be tweeting out from jail, right? Like, I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I was framed.
Well,
the whole Chicago PD is against me. Really?
So the creator of Empire said, oh, this is just another effing day in America. Yeah, it is just another day in America where people fake these hate hoaxes.
Although, isn't that redundant? Because I had fake hate hoax in the title, and I was like, that's redundant, so I just went to hate
He
hoax.
says, it's taken me a minute to come to social media about this because, Jussie, you are my son. You didn't deserve, nor anybody deserves, to have a noose put around your neck, to have bleach thrown on you, to be called day, F word, N word, or whatever they said to you. You're better than that. We are better than that. America's better than that. It starts at home. It starts at home, yo.
Although I'm wondering when the storyline comes out that I believe the left is going to run with, because at this point there's no other way that they can spin this and still try to protect this guy, and that is this. They're going to say, this is what they're going to say, not what I'm going to say. This is what they're going to say. What kind of America do we live in when someone has to go to this kind of lengths to prove the hatred that they receive every day? So the fact that Jussie felt like he had to commit this crime shows just what a victim he is.
Yeah.
And I think that that is what we need to be addressing.
Well, the drugs are going to try to get him off. He's going to try to say the drugs to get himself a
what drugs?
Sentence. I told you. He said he's had an undisclosed drug problem, and so he's going to try to use that to get, like, can I just go to, like, rehab?
Okay, so now we're going to see another tearful video from Jussie Smollett.
I'm so
that is
sorry.
Like,
I'm so sorry.
I've been keeping it in the closet that I've been on drugs, and this is not who I am. I would never fake a hate crime ever, and it's just, I don't even know who that man was in that interview.
No, I know. Exactly.
It wasn't me.
I know.
And I want you to take me back, and I need to shed the light on the drug problem in America.
Right.
That would make me do something like that.
That's really probably true. Here's a statement from Fox.
I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
Please find a new statement from Empire executive producers. The events of the past few weeks have been incredibly emotional for all of us.
Yeah.
Jussie has been an important member of our Empire family for the past 5 years, and we care deeply about him. While these allegations are very disturbing, we are placing our trust in the legal system. As that process plays out, we are also aware of the effects of this process on the cast and the crew members who work on our show, and to avoid further disruption on set, we have decided to remove the role of Jamal from the final 2 episodes. To remove
the role
the effects on the cast and crew members who are literally being drugged through the mud as well.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. Tired of it, says Sanhar. Let's see. Well, if he does it to himself, I guess he deserves it. And that's the thing. I want to address something here while we make fun of him.
We have decided to remove the role of
I wouldn't
Jamal.
be making fun of anybody on the left that had received a real hate crime. We would address it. We would cover it. We would call it out. We would say anybody that says that they support Donald Trump or is on the right or conservative, you are doing a disservice to everybody on the side. You don't belong. We're going to call this out all day long.
The left wouldn't let you do that, though.
I know, but still, that's what we would do for our own. I'm just saying, when somebody goes to this sort of lengths, you have full permission to make fun of him.
The real question is, what does Jussie Smollett think Valerie Jarrett looks like? Because Roseanne got kicked off her show like that.
Exactly.
For saying that Valerie Jarrett looked like a character of Planet of the Apes.
Right. But Roseanne didn't even know that she was black.
So Joy Behar says, we're just desperate to get Trump out of office when making judgment calls on Covington Catholic. And that's the same reasoning that applies to Jussie Smollett. They're just desperate to get Trump out of office, so whatever they can do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have to laugh. Oh, that's a really good name. I get it. Look at that. You have to laugh. Is that British? You have to laugh, or Scottish? You have to laugh. It will still be Trump's fault in the eyes of leftist loons. He shouldn't exist, they will say. Donna Terry wants to know, was he on drugs when he wrote the letter? He could
have decided to remove the role of Jamal from the final 2 episodes of the season. End quote. Again, from part of our company here at Fox. That statement coming from the PR department just a moment ago. I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you.
Listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth.
Police have questioned those 2 men in the surveillance image. Well, tonight, those 2 brothers now claim that Smollett paid them to orchestrate the homophobic and racist attack.
He said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face. I noticed the rope around my neck and I started screaming. And I said, there's a rope around my neck.
I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
It's coming from the President of the United States. When I heard about what had happened to Jussie, and I heard they put a rope around him and they poured police on him.
And she knows him personally, by the way. They all do.
How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
I hope they're never found because they're my brothers.
I don't know. Let's just hope.
Okay, hang on. Leah, I got a question for you. I got a challenge for you.
I got a challenge. Let's not go there yet.
Are you ready?
Let's
I want to see. I've never tried this before. Well, maybe I have, but I don't think I have. Can we produce Tears on Demand?
I don't want to try.
I want to see.
No.
If you think about your dog dying.
No.
I can't.
No.
I can't. I can't do it.
I was talking to a friend, Ed. I said, I just want them to find him.
Because I'm too happy I can't.
Sweetie,
how can an individual who's been embraced by the city of Chicago,
that's why I'm not an actor,
turn around and slap everyone
thing in his pocket
in this city in the face?
I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this. I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
Bogus police reports cause real harm. They do harm to every legitimate victim who's in need of support by police and investigators, as well as the citizens of this city.
I am now one of those people.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for something.
Don't you bring any rope over here, baby. Don't do it.
No, I don't even know where I put it. Oh, wait, maybe it's in here. Oh, it is. I got it.
So what he said is really important to catch. He says, I am now one of those people, meaning he's like about 30 or 40 years old.
I got a prop.
Okay, that's
so
a great prop.
Wait a minute.
It's a poop shovel.
No, it's not just a poop shovel. This is not, that is what it is, but this was in our prepping stuff. So, Jussie, I'm going to mail this to you. Whoop, did you see how I caught that really fast? Okay, because you're going to need this because you keep digging yourself a really fine, hole here, but it is for if you're in the wilderness, then you can like cover your tracks and stuff. Kansas really wanted this as one of his prepping things when we were buying things to prep with. Although why does it fold over? Because like it's not that much smaller when you do that.
Yeah,
though.
it's a little bit.
I've never gotten this out of the box, but this is what Jussie needs, But see, maybe if they had purchased a shovel for digging themselves out of their grave, pit that they've dug themselves in, then it would really look like they were trying to murder the guy.
So yeah,
instead of
we have a culture now where victims are heroes,
right?
And in order to become a hero, you have to be a victim.
Yeah.
And in some cases, to see people crawl out of something awful, that's great. But now we have this victim mentality, which is literally, I'm a hero for being a victim. And it's going backwards. So he wanted to be a hero victim badly that he
because I am now gonna always be one of those people. That's what he said.
Do you have something you wanted to share on this?
No, I don't.
So let's go ahead. You have the Sean Hannity clip because this goes into
UC Berkeley thing. I just want to pretend like I'm crying all day long.
Stop! Don't do that.
It's too much fun.
No, it's not fun.
Okay.
So
be happy.
There was a real hate crime.
Yeah.
Real violence caught on video. A young man with Turning Point USA, which Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk are part of, was at UC Berkeley.
Trying to recruit.
And he
Which
was
that's like going into the devil's.
But it still doesn't mean that you should be able to be accosted.
Oh, no. All right.
And the media went straight into this particular person, Jussie Smollett. It happened.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's alleged.
Well, and now, even on Fox News, when Sean Hannity, he was very careful when he was interviewing this guy to say alleged. If your story, how many witnesses do you have? Right. So let's jump over here because InfoWars conveniently just so happens to have both of the clips for us ready to go. So you need your earphones. No. See, yours are hanging in front of you.
I got you.
I set everything up.
I got you, girl.
I am the tech crew. I'm actually not that good at it. But...
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. I get you a raise.
All right. We're going to watch this whole thing.
I'll get you some McDonald's.
All right, amid the whirlwind of news of political violence in America, lost in the coverage was a very disturbing event at UC Berkeley on Tuesday. Conservative youth organization Turning Point USA's UC Berkeley affiliate, they had a table set up in the college's plaza where members were recruiting students to join. According to multiple eyewitnesses.
Let's not play this little one. Let's see if we can play this big one. No, that's the other kid.
Okay, so
we're going to play that, but...
Unidentified individual confronted the Turning Point table before physically assaulting Hayden Williams, the Leadership Institute field rep.
Sorry.
I'm just leave it.
And then get the
see, that's the first time he punches his dad. Wait for this next one.
I don't want to. I've already seen it.
It's coming. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. Oh my gosh! Why did you watch it?
UC Berkeley released a statement addressing the incident, saying, in part, quote, UC Berkeley strongly condemns violence, harassment of any sort for any reason. That sort of behavior is reprehensible. It's intolerable. A message was sent by our police force to the campus community with a picture of the suspect and a request that anyone with information about the incident come forward and report what they know in support of our police department's ongoing investigation. We intend to identify and bring the perpetrators to justice. A photo of the suspect has been released, as you can see on your screen. as a search for him now is ongoing at this hour. Joining us now with reaction, the student at the center of this controversy, Hayden Williams, is with us, Fox News contributor, campus reform editor-in-chief. Our own Lawrence Jones is here. All right, obviously, there's a lot going on here.
Is
that black guy, by the way, from...
I don't want to mess anything up.
Maybe this will send a message that you can't be making up stories as easily as you could in the past, because maybe, just maybe, you'll be found out.
Yeah, very true.
This incident?
Yes, it is.
Okay, none of us, you're watching what's happening.
Are there videos of unprovoked conservatives attacking liberals?
Jussie Smollett, correct?
I don't think so.
Yes.
A lot of people may doubt your story. What led up to it? And is there any evidence that you have eyewitnesses that will testify that you did nothing to provoke this?
Absolutely. So I'm a field representative, as you said, for the Leadership Institute, and it's my job to help organize and train conservative activists throughout California. And on Tuesday, I was invited to UC Berkeley's campus to help a conservative group, Turning Point, recruit new members. And while I was there, some students took offense to our sign that we had that said, "Hate crime hoaxes hurt real victims." And this person claimed we were promoting violence on campus and proceeded to take his aggression out on us.
How many witnesses do you have? Because listen, I'm watching. I train MMA, and that shot was a cheap shot, especially at the end. When did you start filming? At what point in the encounter?
As soon as the gentleman, and I use that term lightly, approached our table and began acting very erratic, I feared for my own safety, so I started to record at that moment.
All right. Now, did you try to diffuse this? Did you try to say, I'm entitled to my view? I guess one of the posters said, this is MAGA country. So I don't know what the trigger is for liberals and Make America Great Again. Walk us through the very beginning. This guy, what did he do? When did you start filming? And how many people were there with you?
That's right. So I had the president of the club with me there, and we were talking to a potential new member when this happened. And these two people just approached our table, as I said, very erratically, and started cussing at us. And that's when I knew that this was probably a troublesome situation. So I pulled out my phone to start recording, and his friend, one of the gentlemen that approached our table, smacked my phone out of my hand, and
but there were other people videoing, thankfully, right?
That's right. That's right. And picked up my phone.
Would you say how long into the confrontation did video begin that you have seen?
6-7 seconds.
Wow, Lawrence, I've known you for a long time. You know about this group really well.
So let me pause this right here. This guy right here that's shaking his hand in front of the camera, nobody's talking about that guy because he didn't beat up anybody, but he was with the other guy.
I know you've been investigating this for us, and tell us what you found out.
So, Sean, you know, we don't rush to judgment on this program or on this network. We try to get all the facts. We have contacted three students that were surrounding this event. They have backed up what Hayden had to say here. We contacted the university police, and we've even asked for if anyone has any other evidence that could give us a full picture to give that to us. This is what we do now.
But we do know that there were witnesses from the get-go, correct? Numerous ones?
Yes, we know that. We know there were 3 witnesses, but I think it's also important to note, Sean, that this is not new for UC Berkeley. All right, this is a school that's been burnt down almost because they don't like the conservative point of view on the college campus. And so it's not just an isolated event here. The conservative view is under attack, and you have professors that are on that campus that don't want the conservative view and students there. So it's something we've got to take seriously, Sean.
All right, Lawrence, thanks for investigating for that. Hayden, assuming right now, because we're in this moment, obviously, with Jussie Smollett, that you have those witnesses, that would make you a victim. That person will be found, and we will get to the truth, and we wish you well. And
okay. All right, so there's that one. Now, I think we should watch. Now, can I make this small?
Jesus Christ. What?
Nobody gets in there to stop, though. That's you won this fight. He literally says, you won this fight.
Oh, gosh, poor guy. Alexander Sarka is a student at UC Berkeley and witnessed that exchange, and he joins us now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Alexander. Tell us what happened.
So effectively, what happened was I got out of class and I went to Sproul Plaza, which is the main area on campus in which students and other people are free to the recent Jussie Smollett incident. And right when as soon as I noticed that, I was drawn to a verbal altercation that was occurring between the individual tabling, Hayden, and a few other people. And then that quickly escalated from a egregious.
I mean, come on, he's most likely a student who, say, has a backpack on. Is there any effort being made to find this guy?
Honestly, I can't weigh in. I'm weak sauce in my opinion. The statement that Chancellor Carol Christ sent out was a very blanket condemnation of violence, and it really didn't go into the specifics of the case, despite the viral nature of this.
Let me read that statement so folks at home can make their own judgments. She says, let there be no mistake, we strongly condemn violence and harassment of any sort for any reason. At this point, we have no information indicating that the perpetrators are affiliated with the university, and I join our police department in urging anyone with information about the incident to come forward so we can apprehend and bring the perpetrator to justice. So you're not happy with that. You said it's too weak, too soft?
Well, I'm not given the context, because if you see the last statement that she sent out before that, it was about 3 times longer, and it went into much more specificity, much more what's the word? Much more
detail.
Yeah, well, much more emotion was behind it. You could obviously tell, and that was just addressing some comments that were made about certain faculty members being plants or agents of Chinese or Iranian governments. And while I agree with her statement that I completely agree with the tone and tenor that she took with that, she did not apply that same passion, that same specificity to this case.
What was Hayden Williams, the guy who got punched? He was on with Sean last night, Sean Hannity. What was his reaction? What was he doing? Is there anything we didn't see on this video? Because everyone wants to know the whole story when we see these videos now.
No, I definitely agree with. So you have to understand that I only briefly, it was just an extremely fortuitous event that I happened to be walking by when this event transpired very quickly. All I know is that he was standing there, he was at the table, and he was obviously had provocative material for Berkeley.
Yeah, for Berkeley, because he said, beware of false hate crimes. Why should that be offensive to anybody?
Well, within the Berkeley context, it's offensive because it's like, obviously they're like making fun of like the Jussie Smollett incident. That's obviously the perception here.
Well, I'll put it this way: look at the face, look at the video. Any
potential suspect in the violent assault of the conservative activist. Based on current information available to the department, the suspect is not a student or an affiliate of the university. So what was he doing there? That's the question.
Yeah, because at the top of this InfoWars article said, update, since the publication of this article on Thursday, both the student who was attacked and the student who filmed the assault have been given interviews. Okay, so I had misread that. But they do have him as a suspect. Like they think they know who he is. But because of the Jussie Smollett thing, they have to be super duper ooper, I just made that word up, careful, before they go jump into any kind of conclusion.
But see, here we have UC Berkeley employee cheered assault on conservative student. This makes me feel emotionally so much better. What? He tweeted, oh my God, the mega people on UC Berkeley campus yesterday got punched in the face by somebody. This makes me feel so emotionally.
This is a teacher?
It's an employee. I don't know.
Staff member?
Yeah.
Of UC Berkeley? Wow.
Hope you aren't going to get in too much trouble, he added, before adding an explicitive address to Turning Point USA.
You punched a kid with a cheap shot in the face, and I hope you're not going to get in too much trouble. Wow. Unbelievable. That's awful.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the moral of the story is this, and this is, again, what I want to put in my article, should I have time to write it, and that's what I put in the description here today, and it's this. This is actually an excellent time to be alive, because the ditches that they are digging for themselves, they are falling into. That's good news, guys. That's excellent news. I mean, it makes me excited.
Absolutely.
They can't, no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, and I gotta admit, Jussie, you didn't try that hard. I think that most people could have committed this with more believability than you did, even with all your acting abilities, which obviously aren't that great. But still, everything that they're trying to throw at this, they're really trying to, they're trying to fakely, find fault with President Trump. There's collusion with Russia. They're trying to find, flatulence references to, what's his name on the Supreme Court justice?
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Kavanaugh. They're, every single thing that they try to do.
Yep.
It's turning against them, and I'm like, this is so great. I haven't been so excited to bring you guys the news in a really long time. Now, when it comes to this young man, Hayden, that was attacked, it's awful, and I feel really bad, but brother, I'm going to say to you that you are a casualty that proves that we just won this battle. Okay, there was a battle that was being waged. Jussie started it, and you kind of came in at the end and proved the point. You had the sign. You were going into battle. You went to a battlefield of UC Berkeley, and then you were attacked, and it's done good. I'm not going to lie. The left may come at this, and the MSM may come at this and say, well, isn't the right just going to take this and run with it? Well,
like a black person who walks in a white
We're going to take it and run
gets attacked. I'm showing you that if I go into a white neighborhood, I get attacked or something like that.
Right.
So I wanted to bring, I'm going to switch gears here. I wanted to bring some other kind of good news. Kentucky Senate, the state Senate, is the Second Amendment is your concealed carry permit. So they're getting ready to pass a new bill. The bill SB 150. Rand Paul thinks it will, and so does Thomas Massey.
Because they were coming after the Second Amendment a minute ago in Kentucky.
The NRA reports that SB 150 is sponsored by Senator Brandon Smith, and it passed the Senate vote of 29-8. The text of SB 150 makes clear the bill is designed to allow concealed deadly weapons to be carried by persons aged 21 and over without a license.
Wow.
In same locations where concealed carry license holders may carry them.
Wow.
So, very interesting. You don't need necessarily a concealed carry permit.
Right.
On January 31st, 2019, South Dakota governor signed legislation to end her state's concealed carry permit requirement. In doing so, she made South Dakota the 14th state to recognize the Second Amendment as a sufficient carry permit.
Now, that's actually pretty awesome. So, we have South Dakota is the 14th. Kentucky's going to be the 15th. Okay? I mean, that doesn't leave too many more. I mean, we're almost halfway there.
Yeah.
Feels like.
Yeah. So
that's so awesome.
Somebody wants to take a walk at night, and they want to be armed, and they don't want to be on a list that says I have a concealed carry.
So, we have a CB radio. Not CB, but what is it? A ham radio. We have a ham radio. And in order to use your ham radio, you have to register it, and you have to register your handle and all this stuff. Well, we have it in case the poop hits the fan. All right? I want to have it just in case. But if the poop hits the fan in the way that some people are thinking it may hit the fan, like 1984, if you're on a list, I am a little bit paranoid about that sort of thing. So I get it. I love this. I think it's fantastic. Ohio, we're border states. Let's do it.
Yeah, awesome. So it isn't your imagination. Twitter treats conservatives more harshly than liberals. Many conservatives believe that social media companies are biased against their views. This includes Donald Trump, who last year accused Twitter of shadow banning Republicans and promised to look into this discriminatory and illegal practice. A few months later, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey made a categorical denial before Congress and said, "Let me be clear about one important foundational fact. Twitter does not use political ideology to make decisions, whether related to ranking content on our service or how we enforce our rules. We believe strongly in large and being impartial, and we strive to enforce our rules impartially." Recently, Mr. Dorsey appeared on 2 different podcasts on which he similarly denied any bias. Not everyone was convinced. A Pew poll found that 72% of Americans believe that social media companies do censor views they don't like, with members of the public being 4 times more likely to report a belief that such institutions favor liberals over conservatives. And then Joe Rogan and Sam Harris both received backlash from their respective audiences for not pressing Dorsey harder on the censorship issue. Until now, conservatives have had to rely on just anecdotes. I don't know how to say that.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes. Thank you. To make their case, to see whether there is if there really is a basis. There really is a claim.
There is.
So this person looked into the issue of Twitter bias by putting together a database of prominent politically active users who are known to have been temporarily or permanently suspended from the platform.
Right. Yeah.
His results make it difficult to take claims of political neutrality seriously. Of 22 prominent politically active individuals who are known to have been suspended since 2005 and who expressed a preference in the 2016 presidential election, 21 supported Donald Trump. I began my analysis, this person says, by compiling a list of every prominent individual or political party known to have been banned from Twitter since its founding. As a proxy for prominence, I used the criteria of whether the ban was important enough to warrant coverage in mainstream news sources.
Oh, that's good.
With the help of 2 research assistants, I searched both conservative and liberal media sources. It is possible that they missed some cases. In order to ensure being able to reproduce this, they made data on suspended individuals and groups available online. And what they found was, and we can look at Milo Yiannopoulos, Roger Stone, Alex Jones,
Laura
Loomer. I think Gavin McInnes. It's like, I know these people that I know are just gone.
Right.
Just gone.
Is PJW still on there?
Yes, he is. Yeah. So he says, I counted individuals who are primarily known for their political activism, such as Milo, and others who are famous for other reasons, who are regularly comment. Actor James Woods, he was suspended for a little bit and he was brought back. Twitter debuted in 2006, yet I could not find a case of the company suspending or banning a prominent person before May 2015.
Wow. So before
the election,
before Twitter got wind that people may be using their platform to voice their political views.
This is the number of suspensions that you see. Before 2015, none. Like 1 in 2015, a couple in January 2016, and a heck of a lot
in January of 2018.
They did a huge, and then it's just been increasing every month, pretty much.
Oh my gosh!
So,
and I've been saying it, Ernie.
Yeah. 22 of the suspended individuals, only one was a Clinton supporter. That was activist Rose McGowan, who temporarily lost access to her account in 2017 for posting someone's private phone number.
Well, you're not supposed to do that.
Knowing that that is totally against the rules.
Everybody knows that. Oh my gosh, you don't dox people on social media. You can't do that. You shouldn't even be allowed back on after you've done something like that. I mean, am I wrong about that? I don't know.
So remember, Kathy Griffin demanded that her followers make public the names of the Covington High School students, and she's still on Twitter with her little blue check mark.
Oh my gosh!
You've got Ben Shapiro and Ann Coulter, who has been I guess
hey, I touched it again.
So there's
connect.
So it's not just something that you see. Now this is a woman here. Her name is Laura Logan. She is an former CBS News 60 Minutes correspondent, Laura Logan. She came out in an interview and said the bias is real. The liberal bias is real. There's nobody, they don't pretend anymore.
Yeah.
But she's been inundated now with criticism, both personal and professional, after breaking ranks and admitting during an interview with this Mic Drop podcast that the mainstream media is 85% Democrat and that allegations of a pervasive left-wing bias in the media are sadly justified. What is for many a self-confident truth that many on the left are still somehow unwilling to accept. In an interview with Fox News, Sean Hannity Wednesday night, Logan expanded on her point and also shared some backlash that she had faced after the interview went viral. She says, I am braced for the fire and fury. So why don't we take a minute and see what she has to say.
Media everywhere is mostly liberal, not just in the U.S. But in this country, 85% of journalists are registered Democrats.
I feel like maybe I should just move
so
my
that's
head
just a fact.
You could. I was voluptuous.
A few conventions, if you like, because they're not really rules, but
or I can just cover it
you
with
need
my
at least 2 first-hand sources for something, right? Those things help keep you, keep your work to a certain standard. those standards are out the window. I mean, you read one story after another or hear it, and it's all based on one anonymous administration official, a former administration official, right? I mean, that's not journalism. That's sorry, that is absolute.
It is absolute horse. All right, former 60 Minutes correspondent, journalist Lara Logan, bravely stating what so many people already know about the mob media's liberal bias. She didn't mince words. She told the truth, even risking political career suicide in the process. Lara joins us now. Great to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Sean.
Just so you know, just so people know, how many years did you spend out with our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan? How many tours of duty, years, months?
Well, I lived in Iraq for 5 years. I lived in Afghanistan for a year, and I went to Afghanistan dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and I've been back to Iraq before I lived there. I was there under Saddam Hussein. So, I mean, I was pretty much on the battlefield most of the time from 9/11, and it's only been since I had my children that I've kind of, and of course, since I was almost killed in Egypt, that I've sort of
I want to remind people, you nearly died in Tahrir Square in Egypt in the Arab Spring. Geraldo told me, I never knew this,
I didn't know that
that
was
he
this reporter.
had a video of your vehicle getting hit with an IED. I never knew that story. Is that's true?
Yes, that's true. It was, I think it was way back in like 2003 when we were blown up by a double anti-tank mine on the Afghan-Pakistani border at a place called Lozano Ridge. And Geraldo and his brother were a few vehicles behind us in the convoy. And Sean, you know how incredible this is? In those days, the United States military did not even have armored Humvees on the battlefield. If you think about what that context brings, they didn't even have armor on their vehicles. They didn't even think they needed it.
Wrong, so wrong. And I bring this up because, wow, I mean, you risked your life to report. And I watched you on 60 Minutes. I always thought you did a great job. And you say this, which is just a fact, and it's chronicled. And look at the media today. I say I'm a talk show host. I say I also do opinion and news and investigative reporting. I do it all. And 85%, I think it's closer to 90, that are liberal. And you can see it. And you say you need two sources. That's so far gone. Why, if you tell the truth like that, do you believe you just pretty much committed career suicide?
Well, it's obvious, right? Because you get targeted, and it's the same group of people. They're already starting to target me again now, and I expected it. And, you know, I was joking that I'm braced for fire and fury because I know they're going to come after me again, and I'm not the only one. I mean, the same people come after you, right? One of them, the Sparrow Project. I mean, this person was tweeting today, you know, Hannity, you know, watch out about Lara Logan stuff, right? And there's more coming. Michael Calderon, who was at the Huffington Post. I can literally give you the script now. I can tell you who the players are. Joe Hagan, Brian Stelter. I mean, it's the same people all the time, and they're all saying the same things. And they come after Cheryl Atkinson. They come after you. They come after me. I mean, if there are any independent voices out there, if there are any journalists who are not beating the same drum and giving the same talking points, then we pay the price. And if they, you know what's interesting, Sean? They can't take down the substance of what you're saying, right? They can't go after the things that matter. So they smear you personally. They go after your integrity. They go after your reputation as a person and as a professional, and they'll stop at nothing. So, you know, I'm not the only one, and I'm just like, I'm done, right? I'm tired of it. And they don't get to write my story anymore. They don't get to speak for me. Wow. I want to say loudly and clearly to anybody who's listening, I am not owned. Nobody owns me, right? I'm not owned by the left.
I don't even know what your politics are. I really don't. I don't know.
Because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend I have no biases. That's just not true, right? I mean, that's a part of who we are as human beings. We all have opinions on things. I don't pretend I don't have opinions. My point about the sources is that I've worked with so many great journalists. I can tell you many of their names. Sarah Carter is like one of them, right? I have so much respect for her work. And there are so many people at 60 Minutes and in many other places who I have such great respect for. And it's because I didn't invent this. Journalists have always needed two independent, first-hand sources. That's always been the standard that we work to. It's not me. I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. And, you know, I mean, people know that we've slipped. People know that when you're not, when those are no longer your standards, that you're, you know, that raises questions if you're honest.
I would love, I've met your husband who, I don't know if he's going to like I'm saying this, who's really an American hero. And I know you guys are raising your kid. I mean this sincerely. I hope my bosses at Fox find a place for you. I know that you want to still do great work and independent, and I think it would be a service if you did. I hope that you telling truth doesn't end up in career suicide for you. We need the fair, honest, investigative voices. The people that do.
What's funny, you know,
look for the sources.
I heard one of your paid people on Fox saying that it sounded like a job interview to me, and then going on to put a whole lot of words in my mouth that actually I never said. You know, let's just be honest. Like you know, look at the interview, hear what I said, and then listen to him, and you can see I didn't say that. I don't need to fall back into dishonesty. And by the way, it's not a job interview, right? I don't know if Fox would want to hire me because nobody's going to own me.
But I got to run. You keep.
Cool. Very, very good. So, Shazam Boy 53 says Laura Logan is a hero journalist. She has been wounded and through the worst kind of hell a woman can endure in her career. She has the chops to tell the truth. This lady is fearless.
You meant Laura Logan.
Did I say Lauren Loomer? I meant
know.
Logan. This lady right here.
Yeah.
So well said. You know, I think that she stood up for herself right there at the end, because guess what? As much as we do go to Fox News,
she won't be owned. If you hire me, you're not going to be able to tell me what to say.
Exactly.
If I don't agree with the president, I'm going to say it.
And she kind of took offense to the idea that it would be a job interview for her to come on to Sean's show. No, that's not why I've come on this show. I've come on this show to tell my story. And guess what? I really probably don't even want. She said, I don't know if Fox would want to hire me. And then she gave them the reasons not to. So if they did end up hiring her after the fact, you know, she laid it out there. I think
they have a couple token leftists. They have Juan Williams, but he just says whatever.
He gets laid flat though on the 5. I mean, they kind of gang up on him.
He doesn't really mean it. You can just see that in his heart of hearts. And then they have the other gay guy that you see that nobody really likes. But I think it would be really interesting to see somebody who was in the middle, who might maybe be pro-choice or might even have some interesting views on Syria, or might contradict the president, but to really come at it at a situation with a different point of view, but who's honest about that point of view.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I think that would be really, like a Tulsi Gabbard. Like, I could listen to her all day.
Right.
Even though I disagree with her on so much, I think that she's a human being, and it would be interesting to speak with her on a lot of things. She was on The View. They ripped her they ripped her up on the Syria Bashar al-Assad thing. If Tulsi Gabbard were to toe the Democratic line, they would love her. But she doesn't, and she doesn't toe the Democratic line on Bashar needs to be overturned. Now,
who does toe the Democratic line, Leah?
Well, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. Now, we do have, what's really interesting, I was talking about this, I don't know if I was talking about it with you guys or with just Michelle, but the face mask is off. They have literally come out and said, they call themselves socialists, but that's just another word for communism.
Right.
And they use this word socialism. Socialism doesn't mean very much to people anymore, but communism still does.
Yeah.
And so they're calling themselves socialists and democratic socialists, even though it's not really democratic when they're going to force it on you. But no, we're going to get the more people.
No, but people are going to vote their oppression upon themselves.
Yeah.
So that's democratic socialism. So when you vote your own oppression.
Before I go to talk about Elizabeth Warren, I just wanted to share with you a little bit of this article from this student here who
Shepard Smith, is that who you were talking
Shepard
about?
Smith, yeah. This student here, his name is Daniel DiMartino. He is Venezuelan.
Okay.
And he says, the first time I couldn't buy food in the grocery store, I was 15 years old. It was 2004 in Caracas, Venezuela. I had spent more than an hour waiting in line when I got to the register. He forgot his ID, and he didn't get as much of the government rationing that he for his family at that time.
Wow.
Now, he said that he grew up with his parents making thousands of dollars every month, but by the time his parents fled to Spain. They were making $2, the equivalent of $2 a day. I think it's over 1,000,000% inflation, or maybe even 10 million percent. 10 million percent inflation, because what they did is they took control of electricity and they gave everybody free electricity. It was free. But then you lose the incentive for hard work and for keeping things going.
Yeah.
And if everybody has free electricity and nobody has to work, then nobody's really going to do any work. And he said that first there were some outages, and then it was like huge power outages. Same thing with the water. At first it was like you'd lose water once a day, and then you go, or once a month, and then you go
once
without
a
water
week,
for,
and then once
for
a
2
day.
weeks.
Yeah.
And when the government took control of everything, and he says, he makes the point of saying, full-on Medicare for all is not going to be the one tipping point, or even daycare for all. But what happens with the mindset of Medicare for all or daycare for all,
right,
it doesn't really stop. And we have seen that the breadlines are always the end result of these mindsets. These socialists aren't happy with, they're not going to be happy with the Swedish type of democratic socialism. They're talking big things.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you and I were talking about how interesting it is, because I know you've got this, there was a picture there of Elizabeth Warren chugging her beer to remain relevant or whatever. And she came out with the idea of free daycare recently in one of her campaign speeches. And you and I were like, listen.
Here's the thing. Let me be clear. As Horatio sent me an article on this, how crazy it is, you don't even like your kids. Free childcare for every family. This isn't
from
schooling.
Infancy.
This is not preschool.
Right.
This is just childcare for every family. Yeah. Like for babies and toddlers. And this is like, we were talking about like abortion and how like a lot of pro-life people. Go ahead, tell them.
Well, no, pro-life people won't make a ruckus when we're just talking about regular abortion. But then you come in with the infanticide, you come in with the afterbirth abortion and what went on in New York. And then all of a sudden everybody's up in arms like it's a huge deal. And to me and to Leah and to, I'm sure many of you guys watching, abortion is abortion. Whether you're killing the infant, they're going to still feel pain. It doesn't matter. And the same thing goes for Elizabeth Warren's idea of free childcare. And yet, once it's called free childcare, okay, then everybody loses their mind. But guess what? We already have socialized childcare. It's called the public school system. It starts when you are 5. It ends when you are 18. Roughly.
Right.
Okay, so what is, in my opinion, for those of you that are okay with the 5 to 18 free socialized childcare, which throws in a tiny bit of education and a whole lot of brainwashing, what's the difference between that from age 5 to 18? Listen, a child needs to be educated from the time that they're born. They need to learn how to talk. They need to learn how to walk. They need to learn how to feed themselves. They need to learn how to become a functioning human being. So why, Elizabeth, are you going to just call it free childcare? You might get a lot further if you just talk about education from infancy. All right? Well, because it isn't. What's the big difference if you were to take a child and say, listen, we're going to pay for their education from 5 to 18, add on an extra 2 years in the front, an extra 2 years in the back, or whatever, and then you've got free childcare from infancy until adulthood.
And the number is just way off, because when you start to talk about billions of dollars, they literally are hem-hawing over like $2 or $3 extra billion for a wall.
Yeah.
But they'll throw out $90 billion. That was the number she put on it. But these estimates from the Zero Hedge article say that it would be actually closer to $174 billion a year. Okay? A year. $174 billion. But they
then
can't
that's
handle...
going to be exponential, because if we're comparing it to the wall, then we have all these people flooding in, and we're paying for their education and their free daycare.
And so how many parents do we know? The cost is even greater, because how many parents do we know that one stays at home because childcare is it's actually more expensive than public school. It's about, this average here is $14,500. Let's say $15,000 a year, or $1,000.
Unbelievable.
Let's round down. Let's say $1,000 a month or something like that. $1,200 a month for just childcare. That's for one child. Sometimes there's a discount with 2 kids, but sometimes it's even more.
Yeah.
And so one parent usually stays home or something like that. And if it's free, then just like with the public schools, people just, okay, I'll hand my kid over and I'll go to work.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen to society when you have all these children being raised in these little, cubicles where it's factory farmed children.
Yeah. Well, I like what Scotty says
children.
here. He says, what happens when it becomes mandatory?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know, when all of a sudden, because we have compulsory public schools, you have to go to school. Okay. They allow homeschooling. They're trying to get rid of it in some states, obviously. But that's compulsory. You have to have it. So then who's to say they don't, you know, make it compulsory that you have to utilize their free daycare because they tried to make the healthcare compulsory. Like, Leah and I, you know, they were like, you know, you have to, if you don't get Obamacare, you will pay this fine.
So, switching gears again,
We paid the fine.
we're going to talk about socialism and all kinds of, for week after week.
Sydney
after
was
week.
crying, so I'm going to go
give her some treats.
Give her some
Okay,
treats and
thank
calm
you.
her down. I wish people would do that when I cry.
I know, for
Give me
real,
treats.
right? IRS agent charged in leak of Michael Cohen transactions to Michael Avenatti. The IRS agent was charged on Thursday with unlawfully leaking former Trump attorney Michael Cohen's overseas financial transactions to Michael Avenatti, who is himself facing legal jeopardy. Now, where is he at? He was everywhere. He was running for president. This crazy dude. So John C. Fry, an analyst in the San Francisco IRS office who had worked for the agency since 2008, was charged with disclosing Cohen's suspicious activity reports 9 months after, I believe, I'm trying to see, I guess, is it Zero Hedge? Is there a Zero Hedge article? Sometimes they share from other people. I want to give credit when I can to, credit who's due, that it wouldn't be difficult to track down the leaker due to a digital trail left behind from accessing the system. Fry appeared in court Thursday where he did not enter a plea. He was released on $50,000 bond and has a hearing scheduled for March 13th. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. So finally, some of these leakers, at least one here, is now finally going to be maybe possibly punished. I guess after Fry accessed the reports on May 4th, 2018, he reportedly called Avenatti twice, after which Avenatti used his public Twitter account to circulate a dossier releasing confidential banking information related to Cohen as his company. I can't believe it. 2 of the allegedly fraudulent payments were made to men. Let's see. Avenatti included SARs from 2 incorrect Michael Cohens, thanks to Fry's information. So 2 other people got put under the bus. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What else is absolutely crazy? While Michelle's helping with the dogs, John Solomon from The Hill reports, and that one of the top FBI directors, FBI lawyers, here we go, this is what I want, wanted Clinton to face charges, but was talked out of it, which is obviously...
Opinion contributor John Solomon writes, quote, for most of the past...
I will just tell you because you don't need to listen to a robot or whoever that is. For most of the past 3 years, the FBI has tried to portray its top leadership as united behind ex-director James Comey's decision not to pursue criminal charges. We've heard, because there wasn't a lot of criminal intent there. It was just an accident. I pressed the wrong button. I just went through the wrong door. It's like when you're exiting a restaurant and it says stop, and the alarm goes off, and you're like, it was an accident. That's an accident, baby. We ain't going to press charges. You set up a whole server, you hit up, we said 100 times.
Completely accidental.
Hit them with hammers, bleach bit. Come on now. Trying to hide it.
Oh my gosh.
And although in the end, that it may have been the case that everybody came together on this, it wasn't always the case. Then FBI General Counsel, the head guy, James Baker, initially believed Clinton deserved to face criminal charges, but was talked out of it pretty late in the process, he says. And this revelation is contained in testimony Baker gave to House investigators last year.
It may have been the
His
case
testimony has not been publicly released, but John Solomon was allowed to read a transcript. During the questioning, Representative John Radcliffe, Baker was unequivocal about his early view that Clinton should face criminal charges. I have reason to believe that you originally believed it was appropriate to charge Hillary Clinton with regard to violations of law, various laws, with regard to mishandling of classified information. Is that correct? He says yes. He later on explained why he came to that conclusion. So I had that belief initially after reviewing, a large binder of her emails that had classified information in them. And I discussed it internally with a number of different folks and eventually became persuaded that charging her was not appropriate because we could not establish beyond a reasonable doubt that we, the government, could not establish beyond a reasonable doubt that she had the intent necessary to violate the law. So the one guy gets prison time for taking a picture inside the submarine. Remember, and he went to prison, classified information. Oh. Baker made clear that he did not like the activity Clinton engaged in. My original belief, after having conducted the investigation towards the end of it, then sitting down and reading a binder of her material, I thought it was alarming, appalling, whatever the words I said, and argued with others about why they thought she shouldn't be charged. He argued with other people about why they thought she should. I'm guessing it was probably Lisa Page.
Do you think in that argument, some of the things that were thrown out there were... she's Hillary Clinton. You can't charge her. She's above the law.
Right.
I think that was really the only argument that flew.
He acknowledged that during the weeks leading up to the announcements, Comey would throw out things like, what he did would need to be in the best interest of the country. Oh my gosh. And Baker said that if he had been more convinced there was more evidence that Clinton intended to violate the law, he would have argued it more ferociously.
I think that this is so great because what this does, and I wish this had gone to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court had ruled this to create a precedence. You know why? Because then if you committed tax fraud on your taxes, as long as you could prove that there was no intent to do that and it was just a mistake.
That actually is part of the law, but they won't. If you were Hillary Clinton, they'd throw you in jail because there's obviously if you hammered your computer when they tried to come and get your records, I'm pretty sure that they would say there's intent.
There are just too many things out there that people get thrown in the slammer for when the intent wasn't there. Okay,
bald eagle feather collecting.
Thank you. Yeah, you can get fined for that. Big fines. Or go to jail.
If you have a feather of a bald eagle, if it drops it on the floor, you have to don't touch it. You can go.
Yeah,
you
just
have
to let it lie.
Let sleeping feathers lie.
I'm not gonna say who it is that we know that has some of those feathers because they could go to jail, but we know.
So tomorrow, if you see a bunch of people in black, Americans are gathering for a national day of mourning Saturday over the New York infanticide law. And I guess
we could join in this, right? Wearing black.
The main event of the National Day of Mourning will take place in the Empire State Plaza Convention Center in Albany, New York, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And there's other events throughout the country. I just read about this. We invite you, the official site says, to gather, worship, and pray with us February 23rd, right underneath the State House of New York, where the gruesome infanticide law was signed and celebrated. We will give the preborn the solidarity they deserve. This will be a time of mourning and repentance on behalf of our nation's sins. Wear black and bring as many people as you can. In the past few weeks, we would be hard-pressed to think of a day where abortion was not front and center in the news. We have seen now, I want to show you guys, Vermont has a new law on its house.
It's just spreading like a virus, guys.
It is. It's kill.
But that's okay because we are also fighting back. Like Ohio has the heartbeat bill that's getting ready to be passed.
So this one, I believe, is worse than New York. Vermont House passes a staggering abortion bill. Here's what it says. This is the most expansive abortion bill yet. The Vermont House voted to pass a staggering bill that would allow abortion at any stage of pregnancy for any reason whatsoever. Critics said the legislation is more expansive of abortion rights than the extremist bills passed in New York and Virginia. Every individual who becomes pregnant has the fundamental right to choose to carry a pregnancy to term, to give birth to a child, or to have an abortion. It passed 106 to 36.
Oh my gosh.
The bill would also strip unborn children of any rights or recognition of their personhood by the state. A fertilized egg, embryo, or fetus shall not have independent rights under Vermont law. Republicans introduced several amendments to the bill, including one that would require women to receive an ultrasound before aborting their baby, but they were voted down by the Democrats.
Vermont, what a wicked, wicked state.
So we are seeing the battle lines being drawn. We are seeing... this reminds me very much of the North and the South on the slavery issue.
Yeah.
But what's so funny is that they don't see that they are the slave owners. Like they are the bad guy. They are the slave transporters. They are the people who see babies as less than human.
I know.
And that's like seeing a black person less than human. Like they are looking in the mirror.
So
they need somebody to
the
do
hypocrites. I mean, it's unbelievable. The amount of hypocrisy, that's kind of the word I was looking for. The amount of hypocrisy that you see when they would definitely say, oh, if I was in the South, I would have stood up and, you know, the slave owners were evil because they didn't view, of course, black people are humans. Of course, black people are humans. Of course, a fetus is a human. Of course, a fetus has the right to life. It's one of our...
Abby Johnson.
I'm sorry. It's one of our fundamental rights of the United States. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Okay, so life. It starts with life. You have the right to live.
Right.
All right, so the next thing you're going to roll right into, which you and I are excited about, I'm going to have to give you, you know what, you need
like
a
a step
stool to get
I'm
into
not
your
old,
stool.
It's just hard to get up there. It's hard. It's like getting on a
Leah's
horse.
vertically challenged. Not too
No,
badly,
I'm not
but
really.
more than others.
I'm 5'4". I'm not short. It's just a little bit. I'm kind of average. Actually, the average woman's 5'5". So
okay,
you're just
but
tall.
you're below average then.
Michelle's not as tall as she appears. She's 5'7.5", in case you were ever wondering.
Abby Johnson, one of the most amazing women that I've never met in the world, who has been fighting for the right to life.
She was an abortion clinic runner. She ran one, and she came to know Jesus. And some
Who
good
better
Catholics,
to speak out? Who has more of a foundation?
Some good Catholics loved her through it.
Yeah.
She started going to Catholic church even as working on the abortion clinic, and they loved her through it. And now she speaks out for life. So I want you guys never give up hope on people.
Yeah.
But they came out with a movie, and it has been hit so hard with people trying to censor it, people trying to shut it down. They didn't even want to let people know what kind of film they were filming, where they were filming it, because they knew that people would try to boycott it. You know, and then just today, I believe,
they gave it a rated R rating for no reason other than to restrict viewing.
Pro-life, it is exactly why they did it. Pro-life movie from God's Not Dead Writers received an R rating from the MPAA. Unplanned is a powerful true story of Abby Johnson, a young woman who gets drawn into working for Planned Parenthood until one day she sees something that changes her mind and inspires her to become a pro-life advocate. The movie, which Movie Guide has screened and dubs an extremely well-made movie and powerful, received an R rating from the MPAA for some disturbing bloody images. However, is Unplanned grisly and disturbing enough to earn an R rating instead of PG-13? Something that could majorly hurt the success of the faith-based film. Really, but people, you want to take your kids, you want to take whole youth groups to this whole thing.
Yeah.
You want them to know what it is about. And so, seriously,
can you contest a rating?
So, Movie Guide gave Unplanned a
negative one
acceptability rating, which means discretion is advised for older children. While the material is heavy, the violence and bloody images are low by Hollywood standards. Other 2019 movies like Happy Death
Death Day,
and Miss Bala and Glass. Remember Glass? Glass is PG-13. That is I saw the trailer for that.
I know it says 2019. Oh yeah. No, oh my gosh. That movie looks horrible.
Many killings, murders, and death, and each of these received a PG-13 movie allowing older teenagers to without adult supervision.
Wow.
The writers and directors, Carrie Solomon and Chuck here from God's Not Dead, filmed Unplanned in secret in Oklahoma in order to avoid unnecessary protests from Planned Parenthood activists. In response to the R rating, the filmmakers told Movie Guide Unplanned is an R-rated film which has no MPAA cautions for profanity, nudity, sex, or violence except for violence directly associated with the abortion process. Ironically, the MPAA seems to be indirectly endorsing the pro-life position.
Wow.
Namely that abortion is an act of violence.
Yeah.
They continued, even more ironically, as a result of the MPAA's decision to give us a restricted rating, many teenage women in this country who could legally obtain an actual abortion without parental permission will be prohibited from going to see the film containing simulated images of abortion without obtaining parental permission.
Which is the whole point.
So they're trying not to let it squish their spirits, but maybe it's all for the best. As the wife of our lead film attorney put it, this is a movie that every mother of a teenage girl needs to take her daughter by the hand and go see with her. So maybe the parents will go with their kids.
Yeah.
Because you can go see an R movie with your parents.
Right.
So,
but still at the same time, Leah and I come from the quote unquote Christianese.
Remember, Gosnell was PG-13.
Right. And that was pretty intense. The Christianese families, and I get it, and I'm actually okay with families that are like this, although
we don't see our movies.
We don't see R movies. It doesn't matter what it is. There are no exceptions. You will never see an R-rated movie as long as you're under my roof.
Right.
And I'm not going to waver there. And I don't watch R-rated movies. So I think there are going to be a lot of families that take that
playing
stance.
on that. The MPAA
I
wanted
know.
that because they don't want people to know what
exactly.
About.
This is horrible. Now, do you have a trailer you're going to play for him?
It's going to be loud, so maybe get it down already. Okay.
It's in the other room.
It comes out January 29th, I believe.
Here.
Abby Johnson's in the other room.
Our first order of business is to present Planned Parenthood's Employee of the Year Award. Abby Johnson.
This is Abby. She's our newest volunteer escort. Abby, this is Cheryl D'Alessandro.
I have goosebumps.
I'd be the youngest director in Planned Parenthood history. You'll actually be in charge of the abortions at your clinic. I have a chance to make a real difference.
No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're still going to be a baby killer.
The only thing that's changed is you, Abby. Can you even hear yourself talk right now about these procedures? These are little babies.
I'm not going to apologize for doing a job that helps women in crisis. There's still a part of me that isn't sure. I know. But the one thing that all experts agree on is that at this stage, the fetus can't feel anything. Sorry to bother you, but they need an extra person in the back room. Are you free? I saw it. It was like it was twisting and fighting for its life.
We commend the souls of these hundreds of children. And Lord, we pray to end abortion.
I really appreciate what you've done for us. I'll not forget it.
22,000 abortions. How do I even comprehend that?
Rough day at the office?
You can say that.
It's your dad and me. You are our baby from the moment of conception.
We are paying you to be a perfect instrument of corporate policy. We are an abortion provider.
I can't be a part of this anymore. Everything that they told us is a lie.
Don't underestimate the repercussions of this. You gotta be careful.
Rhonda, please! Don't do it! Rhonda! Let me tell you what's gonna happen if you walk through that door.
Congratulations. You've made an enemy of one of the most powerful organizations on the planet.
Oh my gosh. You know what is so interesting about that? I don't know what we're going to do. That day, we just need to mark off on our calendar as Leah and Michelle are off. We're not working. We're not doing any pet visits because we're going to start the day with coverage on what's happening with Brexit. And then in the evening, we're going to probably be going to see Unplanned because it just so happens to be the exact same day. I need to tell all of our clients, Leah and Michelle are unavailable on March 29th.
Well, I think we don't have to go.
I think it would be fantastic. I want to. We'll see. But seriously, that is so powerful.
Yeah.
And I can't help but be angry after watching that preview. There is no way that could ever be a rated R movie. Anybody that would watch the preview would go, huh? I'm hoping that most people don't even think about the rating.
What about like the PG-13 movies where like to make it shark attacked or something like that? Like there's a violent bloodiness
recently it's turned my stomach.
We saw that Castaway, like a girl, like the girl and the guy on an ocean.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like a
violence and I don't think that was rated R. Maybe it was. I don't know, but it's sickening to me the movies that get a PG-13 rating now that should be rated R. Because when we were kids, our mama was like, no rated R movie. She did make the exception for Schindler's List, which ruined my life. But seriously, like Scotty says, it's so obvious that it's not
Last of
an
the
R-rated movie.
And Dancing with Wolves are PG-13.
Yeah,
there's some violence in those movies. I remember as a kid seeing those.
I think David said, "Forgive the women who had abortions." I could not agree with you more there.
Absolutely. But Abby Johnson, honestly, had changed my views on people who worked in abortion clinics, and I'm glad that she did.
Yeah.
And I'm humbly able to say that I now view people who work in abortion clinics differently. I'm not saying that they're all butchers. I'm not saying that they're all going to hell. I'm saying that there are people who it's a little bit nuanced in that some people are never going to turn, and some people are going to turn.
So, Jerry Langford says Crowder did an undercover thing. I couldn't watch it. Rhonda Ford says, wow, that is powerful. Yes. Very, very, very powerful. Hang on. Let's see. There was one more. It looked like I wanted to. Scotty says, of course, they restricted our rating because the movie people all donate to Planned Parenthood. I couldn't agree more. This may backfire. We always want most what we cannot have, so people may flock to it thinking it's graphic. Well said, Applemark. Let's see. Kelly says, it angers me too. Yeah. Geez. That's really rough. Abby, we're praying for you. Resistance chicks are behind you 100%. I hope that your movie takes off and just explodes and everybody gets the truth. Just like Gosnell. We're actually, I hate to use the word hungry, but
people want to see movies like this.
Think about this.
Perfect timing on this
They worked on this movie long before the New York abortion bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the timing of this couldn't be more fitting.
Poignant.
That's a really good word for it. Chirpin Cricket says, it makes me sick thinking that every baby tries to fight back and survive. Yeah.
I think Crowder's undercover video showed that you could go in at 8 months pregnant and get an abortion, and an 8-month-old baby is just the same size as, not much smaller than a 9-month-old baby.
Oh,
and
8-month-old babies are born all the time.
They're
literally just born.
Yeah, you're just literally it's awful. And they have to rip the baby apart to pull it out. And they have to, put the suction its head out.
It's one of the biggest cover-ups of our time. And that's what it is. It's a cover-up because there are very few people that actually see it and experience it, and they're not speaking out. Now, we did cover one of those abortion workers that did talk about it, and it is a cover-up, and it's a secret that they're trying to keep hidden. And people like Abby Johnson keep pulling the mask off of these evil murderers. And I'm very excited because I think that we're living in a time where all the masks are coming off of the evil people. And I think I talked about that in my Bible study. John chapter 9. If you guys didn't see that, go check it out. But seriously, we unmask. They're forced to. You can only keep yourself covered up when you're an evil person so long. Before, breaking your stare.
No, I'm thinking about that crown of thorns that Justin made. And just kind of, Justin made this Jesus crown of thorns with these things. And it was just, I don't know, it just caught me for a moment.
Oh, cool. Very good. So, I think we're going to sign off. Do we have a song? Or do you want to skip it? There were a couple of song requests. And I had asked you guys, and I want you to continue to submit them. With the song suggestions, recognize that we may not know the song. So, A, we may not do it because we don't know it. And B, if we do want to do it, it may take us a little while to learn it before we can actually do it.
We're still working on our little rap beat. We got the beat for the rap.
We found a beat. We found a free beat to go with it.
We're still going to do that.
And so now we want to practice it so it actually goes with the beat.
Yeah.
Break.
We'll try it. It's not going to be like that.
You know what?
Exciting.
Let's stop giving them kind of timelines because it doesn't work out well.
Oh, wait.
Now, hang on before you do that. The printer wouldn't work. Now, do you guys remember when we did our drawing and we had you submit your name to our website and then we drew names from a hat? Well, I'm going to tell y'all something. 2 of the people out of the 3 prizes never got back with me. I have sent multiple emails. So the t-shirt giveaway from Debbie's t-shirt shop, where you get to literally pick your own t-shirt and Resistance Chicks are going to pay for that. It's a $40 value. The person never got back with me. And then we have the Creature from Jekyll Island book. That guy from Poland never got back with me. I don't know how long it would have taken to ship to Poland, but I was ready to ship it. Okay. And I emailed like 3 or 4 times and I said, listen, we're going to have to do another drawing. Now, as technology advances in this world, one thing that does not advance, or it does and it messes up on purpose, are printers.
I told Michelle just to write them down.
So
you
what I
just written them down. Why
no, I could have, but there's a big, huge, long list. So to write them all down would have taken some time. All right. So this is my list.
You could have just numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, exactly. We could do that.
You just
do you want me to do it right this very second? because you were wanting to do the redrawing like today, and I pulled this up and I pressed print, and my printer will not work, and I've been
like a
fighting
month.
my printer for days.
You don't need a printer. You have to think outside the box.
I do. I wasn't thinking. Well, actually, I did say that to you the other day. I said we should just number them and then put them in a hat, and then it didn't happen. So we do need to redraw. Now, the other option is, like Leah said, I could literally, you could close your eyes and I could scroll this thing up and down, and you could just put your finger on one, and where it stopped, that's where it's going to go. Okay, I'm not even looking. I'm scrolling with my finger. Y'all can watch me do this up and down, up and down. All right, I'm going to stop right there. It's on blank. Let's try again. Wait, do it again. Wait. Let me do this down. Okay, are you ready? Mm-hmm. It's going up and down, and there, go.
It's the same one that's already been used.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Ardelia. I'm not going to give the whole email. All right. So we have Ardelia Molinari. Now there's more to that email. Okay. So let me highlight that. I don't know how, I won't forget it.
No,
okay.
Just highlight it, bold it.
Okay. Then we're going to change the color.
There we go.
Okay. Now, so Ardelia, you just won. We didn't even decide what we were drawing for. The t-shirt.
The t-shirt was first and then the book.
Okay. So Ardelia just won the t-shirt. Now, I hate that we're even doing this way, but it's the best way to get it done. All right. Leah's not looking and I'm not looking. Go. Nope. It's on blank again. Sorry. Okay. Go. Leanne Beach with more to the email. All right. So Leanne Beach.
You're getting the creature from Jekyll Island.
You are getting the creature from Jekyll Island. Now, if these people don't get back with me, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose my mind. Sending people emails. Please answer your email from Resistance Chicks. And I think maybe they think it's going to like their spam folder or something. That could be it. Check your spam folder.
Give them another week. We'll come up with another way.
All right. So Leanne, it's coming to you. Let me highlight that. Make it red.
I'm so happy now. We're going to get this done.
Okay.
Yay. How can we start another giveaway without these, without finishing this one?
I don't know. It kind of seems like a conspiracy because we have like your name in both. Like Leanne, Leah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
So what
didn't we sing that song like a couple? We sing that one. That's like our go-to song.
I know.
There's got to be. I got to tell you. So that one of the song suggestions was from Kristen Kircher, and the song was "It Is Done" by Mary Barrett. I listened to it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'd never heard it before. And then the other one that was suggested was from Rhonda, who had I Can Sing About Heaven. So what I did is you have to.
That is fun to listen to. The Gaither, and it's all. But
there's a black quartet that sings it. And after Leah and I listened to it, I thought to myself, oh my gosh. You need 4 people to sing it to make it even sound halfway good. You guys can Google that. I Can Sing About Heaven. Absolutely fun song. Because I love how it said, like, even John the Revelator couldn't couldn't even say what he saw. And I thought that was really, really fun. So thank you for the song suggestions. I want you guys to continue to send them to my email, masfaith33@gmail.com, and put in the subject title song suggestions. I haven't given up on those songs. We may still sing them, but I just don't know them right away. Didn't we try to sing that one last week?
A light unto my path. Just roll with it.
That's fine. I'm just looking up the lyrics.
Is that all there is to it? My feet and a light unto my path. When I feel afraid, think I've lost my way, still you're there right beside me, and nothing will I fear as long as you are near. And please be near me to the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will not forget your love for me, and yet my heart for
forever is wandering. Jesus, be my guide and hold me to your side, and I will love you to the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. You're the light unto my path. There we go. So still, we want to hear your song suggestions. So email them to me. If you guys want to get a hold of us, that is the avenue to do it, unless you want your letters read on air, in which case, send them to our P.O. Box, 107 Milford, Ohio, 45150. If you send your letters, they will be read on air. Now, we do have a mail call. Ooh, there's one more. There's a card upstairs, too, that I forgot to get.
Where is it?
It's in a red envelope by the little chicken.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Patrick Byram sent 2 things in the mail. The one is on the table, but the first one I want to get to is absolutely amazing. Patrick, I don't think that you're in the chat. I haven't seen Blue Guy. Hey, buddy. I would love to have you on to find out. And I know I say that all the time, but this time I really, really mean it. A special interview, Nick, with you on how things are going down there at school. So I'm going to shoot you an email. I've been meaning to do that. That's just a really good reminder. But anyway, so Patrick Byram sent this amazingly beautiful painting. Now, I want to make sure that I'm showcasing this. Let me make sure there we go. Look at that. Now, I can't tell if this is hand painted. It kind of looks like it, or if it's store-bought. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's absolutely beautiful with Jesus holding the lamb. Now, I think actually what Leah wanted to do, because on the back of it, Patrick had written several scriptures here and put the song, "What Wondrous Love Is This?" So, Patrick, Leah and I want to say a huge, huge thank you for sending something so beautiful to us, to the Resistance Chicks family, with so many, it looks like, Patrick, you painted this because it says Byram, 4/23/18, finished 2/11/18. No, that can't be right. 19. So you must have just finished this and you worked on it for almost a year. Amazing. Well done. So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You are definitely a very, very talented artist. So actually, no, one more thing over there. Now this one, Patrick, Leah and I'm going to be honest, we were kind of like, well, what's he trying to say? What are you trying to say here, Patrick? Derek and Ruth Prince, God is a matchmaker. Well, I couldn't agree more that God is a matchmaker.
I actually read through the book. It's a neat little book. It's a beautiful story about Derek and Ruth Prince coming together in Israel. There's a lot of
now he was born in 1915.
Yeah, these are some good words
been around,
of wisdom.
Yeah, 2003 he passed away. Mm-hmm. She died in Jerusalem where they had lived since 1981. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm sure there are some amazing principles in here in a lot of scriptures. Cultivating your own self-esteem. I think that's really, many women marry the wrong man or fail in their marriages because they do not set a high enough value on themselves. You are a child of God. Jesus valued you so highly and loved you so much, he died for you. The New Testament and the Psalms are filled with scriptures that encourage believers to see themselves as God sees them. Spend some time memorizing them to have them instantly available. And then there are several scriptures there. So, for it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do
this week
of his good pleasure. It is amazing. I just opened to that. I just gave it to you guys on the show, didn't I? 2 Corinthians 3:18, but we all with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord.
So the more you look at the Lord, you start to look like the Lord. So
amen.
Spend some time looking at the Lord today.
So this is really fantastic. So thank you, Patrick, for the book and the amazing painting that you painted yourself.
So this is from what a Kate. Gift. This has got to be one of the cutest.
I think it's the best card ever. Now, no, get it closer. Get it closer. No. Okay. Well, there you go. That's it. Have a honey of a day. There are bees all over. Show the front of the card again. That's a honeycomb. There's a bee on the front. Be my Valentine. Now, isn't that the cute? Now, show it to them so when you open it, they see. No, turn it like this. The other way. Like.
What?
Like that.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Okay. Now, read the sentiment that Kate wrote in there.
Dear Liam Shaw, wishing you love and joy on Valentine's Day and every day of your lives. You are immensely appreciated and loved. Puss, puss, puss.
I love it. Thank you, Kate. When we opened up that card, I about lost my mind.
So cute.
Absolutely wonderful. So that was a really fun mail call. And we'll have to figure out a spot for the painting there. So thank you for the book, Patrick. Thank you for the painting. Very, very touching.
Actually, I have a friend that I might send that along to, actually. So
the book, we have some friends that need this right now, currently. So, all right. So we were going to sing what Wondrous Love, and we had the words
we
right
did
here.
Already, remember?
When?
We sang it.
We sang it on Friday?
We sang it in our last show.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's so pretty on this.
Yeah, because I was like, let's go ahead and sing the song.
Okay. We did.
Remember we did?
Yeah. It's
So,
a good song.
It is. I love that song.
Okay. All right. So we're going to sign off here. Thank you to all of our moderators who were here. Congratulations to Redneck, who's a new moderator. Well deserved. You've been here for a long time, Zach. Let's see. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
We love you. God loves
we
you.
love you. God loves you. God bless. Remember, we'll be back here on Sunday.
1 o'clock for our UK show.
Right. Do we have something
Euro
planned
news.
for Sunday? I remember thinking, like, we're not going to be able to do our show. No. Okay. Just making stuff
We're
up
going to
in
be here,
mind.
baby. Bar any as the Lord leads, as we
That's
like to
right.
say.
Optimus K says, beautiful book. Apple Mark says, thank you, ladies. Love all of you. So Maia was going to buy a new car today. And she was super excited about it. She texted me last night. And then she texted me right before the show or earlier today. And she's like, so I texted my older brother and he kind of pulled the wind out of my sails because he says now's not a good time to buy a car because it's tax time and that's when everybody's buying their cars and so prices are up.
Oh, are they? Okay. I thought prices would be
I
down.
was like, I was really excited for her. I know, I would think they would be down too, like trying to people get deals.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. You know.
But I don't know. I'm not in the car market, so I don't know.
I know. Mayor, you were talking about like buying a new car because you said something about dealerships. I mean, I guess you buy used cars at dealerships too, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I would buy a new car. Because you save money by like as soon as the car drives off the lot, the car's lost like $3-4 grand.
That's true, baby.
I don't know if anybody wants to sell me a car. All right, you guys, we love you. God loves you. God bless. Podum says, happy thoughts, everyone. Good show and community. Britt Baza says, plug TR Panda Drama. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
That is. It's the 23rd.
Oh.
Thank
we'll
you,
probably
Britt.
plug it tomorrow.
Okay, so maybe we might do a
Tommy
special
Robinson's
show.
Panodrama Day tomorrow.
So now, it was going to come out at the same thing. So their story on Tommy is coming out at the same time as Tommy is going to debut in front of BBC. I think he got permission to do it in front of that big, what is it called when it's just a big open space in front of the BBC? And the big open space. And they're going to put it on Megatrons. So at the same time as they debut Tommy's story, he's going to debut. I think his might be before because it has to be in the daytime. I don't know what time it is, but maybe after the fact, it may warrant us coming to you, or we may save it for Sunday.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys, we love you. God loves you. God bless. Remember,
it's not just a conspiracy theory
if it's the truth.
I was cold.